In this video, we'll look at 4 tools that will help you annotate your site plan. First on my site plan, I'd like to notate the property line dimensions. We have a built-in what Revit calls tag for that. So I'll type TG. Alternatively, you can go to the Annotate tab and find this tag by category, and it pulls up the same function. I'll uncheck leader. Now I can place my tag for the property line. And I'll go ahead and do the east one as well while I'm in the view. And I'll type ZA to zoom all and get my north and south property lines. Another thing we like to see tagged on site plans are the contours. For that, I'll go to the Massing and Site tab. We can see there's this label contours function. It wants me to draw a line here. For our plan, I think it looks nicer along the west side. I'll click once at the bottom, a second time at the top. If I zoom in here, you can see I've got some labels added to all of my topography lines. One thing about these lines is they're reporting from what's called the project base point, and we'd like to see them from a survey point. If I click on that contour line, I can go Edit Type in the Type selector from my Properties panel, and I get this dialog box. I see the elevation base. I'll switch that to survey point and say OK. Nothing much changed because we need to say what that survey is. We go to the Manage tab. Under Coordinates, specify coordinates at a point. I'll click somewhere around my 0 contour. And instead of a 0 elevation, I'd like that to be 300. So now I'm 300 feet above sea level, and the rest of my contour lines have been adjusted to reflect that. Another thing that you'll need to show on site plans is the setback dimensions. I find those easiest to draw with these things called detail lines. The hotkey is DL. So we have our draw panel here. I'll select the rectangle, and I'll also change my line style to hidden, not hidden lines. I can set in my offset to 5 feet. And notice what happens when I draw. I'll click once to use my rectangle tool, and as I drag to the upper corner, notice it's giving me 5 offset from all of my property lines. I'll hit spacebar so that it flips the dimension into the inside of the property lines, and then I'll click. Finally, what we'll need to do on this site plan is add a few dimensions. For this, we'll be on the Annotate tab for this Align Dimension tool. You'll use this one a lot, so I would get used to the hotkey DI. I'll start on the east property line. I'll click once, and then again, and again, and again. And then I'll click somewhere off to this side. This is created as a continuous dimension string. I'll do that one more time in the vertical direction. DI, select all of the lines that I need to dimension, and then somewhere off to the side to accept the string. We can use dimensions to change the location of elements. Revit is documenting the location of this detail line. I have to click on it before I can change its relationship to the property line. So I'll click on the front dimension string, and I'll set that to 20, since our front setback is going to be at 20 and our side setbacks are at 5. So as a reminder, in this video, we went through labeling contours, specifying coordinates at a point, and the aligned dimensions. I hope this helps.